Hey guys, this is Austin, and today we are at a safari place at Disney. Well, that's not really where we want to go, but I am actually here with someone. This is Chloe. She's been trying to start a YouTube video called, what was it again? Taekwondo. She's been doing things like doing ninja stuff, I guess. Karate. That's the spirit there. Right now, look at him. I am being serious right now. This is the whole Harambe safari. Let's go. I just wanted to tell her that we're not really supposed to be recording on the ride. No, I'm not shutting it off. I'm just hiding it. Okay.
As we talked about yesterday.
I am actually going to restart the
Remember last year we came on it and this thing.
Hey guys, this is Austin, and today we are on the Harambe Safari. And I am here with one of my friends. I am here with one of my friends, Chloe, and she started a new channel, Taekwondo. She's doing.
Now, as we say here,
Excuse me.
yes, I'm going to start a new channel.
Well, here we are.
Now, you ask that everyone please remain seated.
My eyes are probably huge. I'm like,
Children, they must be sitting on your lap or on the seat beside you, and do not hold them up in the air, baby Simba style. Now, if you look above you, are going to see that animal spotting guide that will help identify any of those creatures we may see out here today. Now, we're not going to explain it all due to migration and sleeping patterns, but usually we will get pretty lucky. Now, we are going to start our adventure today by heading into the Little Aturi Forest. Now, the animals here, they like to use their natural colorings and markings as a form of camouflage to hide from predators. Now, over on the right, we're going to see my favorite animal, the okapi. Now, okapis, they do look a lot like a zebra, but they're actually more closely related to the giraffes based on their skeletal structure. Now, they do have an 18-inch long tongue, which is long enough to their nose and their eyeballs, which is kind of cool. It's also a little bit gross, but don't knock it till you try it. And if you try it, let me know. I want to watch. It's very entertaining. Now, as we ride through the Aturi Forest, it is kind of like playing a really big game of I Spy or Where's Waldo, because these animals are really good at hiding. Like on our left, we have two little birds here in the water. Those are saddlebill storks.
He's copying.
Now, these storks can stand about 5 feet tall. They have a wingspan of 9 feet wide. You can actually tell the difference between males and females by looking at their eyes. If they have bright yellow eyes, they're a female, and if they have brown eyes, they're a male. Now, up here on the left, we have a glorious backside view of a black rhino. Now, this black rhino will weigh about 3,000 pounds. Now, even though they weigh 3,000 pounds, they can actually
That rhino weighs 3,000 pounds.
per hour. The only non-predator of a rhino is a human.
3,000 pounds. That's almost as big as me. That's almost
just like
as much as me.
Now, up on the hill,
if you don't know what
there's a concrete brown animal hanging out up there. That is a bongo. Now, bongos, they're called the ghosts of the forest because when they walk, they will take very deliberate and thought out steps in order to make little to no noise at all. Now, they actually weigh anywhere from 750 to 900 pounds. So the fact that they can walk and make no noise is pretty impressive. Now, up on the hill on our left here, we have 3 sandy brown animals at the very tip top there. Those are gray for kudu. Now, all 3 of those are female. And we know that because they don't have horns. Only the males can grow horns, and their horns are gonna be about 6 feet long. Now, they're actually the 2nd largest antelope here on the reserve. When they're fully grown, they're gonna stand about 5 feet tall from their shoulders down to the ground. And we are gonna leave the Aturi Forest behind us, and we're gonna head into the Sapi River. Now, the animals here in the Sapi River, they need water for a majority of
Did you know those cars driving by itself?
So you'll never find them very far from their watering hole. Now, folks, I am only one pair of eyes. So if you happen to see something out here on the reserve today that I do not, try to identify it yourself by using that animal spotting guide above you. And then when we get back to the village, I am more than happy to answer any questions you guys may have regarding these animals. My window is literally always open. Now on our left here, we
Back
are
in
gonna
Kentucky, we have
called
orchards.
pink-backed pelicans on the island.
Okay.
Now these pelicans, they get their name because in the springtime, which is their mating season, they will get a pink color on their back. Now it is their skin turning pink, not their feathers. We also have a hippo hanging out in the water here on our left.
Oh, a hippo.
Now hippos, when they're fully grown, they're going to weigh about 5,500 pounds. They will spend the majority of their time underwater where they can actually hold their breath for 8 minutes at a time. Just make sure everyone is sitting down all the way. Bottoms must be on a seat. Now sometimes it looks like hippos are swimming like that guy right there. But they're actually just walking along the bottom of their watering hole. They are far too dense to actually swim, so they just kind of sink down to the bottom. Now folks, we are about to cross a bridge, so for everyone's safety, remain seated for me at all times. That does include children. It must be on your lap or on the seat beside you, and do not hold them in the air. Now as we cross this bridge, if you look over to the left, you're going to see Nile crocodiles. Now these are in fact 100% real crocodiles. They're not animatronics. They do measure to be about 16 feet long from the tip of their nose to the tip of their tail. And they can weigh up to 500 pounds. Now they'll usually eat about once a week or every 10 days.
Cool.
So when they do eat, they will actually gorge themselves, and they will eat a third of their body weight at a time. Both male and
That's
female
my dad all the
crocodiles will roll
time.
the eggs of the baby crocodile around in their mouth in order to crack their shells a little bit, which makes it easier on the baby crocodiles when it's time for them to hatch. Now a group of crocodiles is called a float. A group of hippos is a float. A group of pelicans is a pod. So it's pretty easy to remember those animal grouping names from the Sankey River. It looks like the trees are starting to thin out, which is a pretty good indication that we are
What do
heading
you
in the
call
right
a
direction.
scared group of giraffes?
Into the
A tower
savannah.
of terror.
Now the savannah is home to some pretty iconic African animals
Something
like giraffes, lions, cheetahs, and elephants. Now just a quick reminder guys, we're not going to be able to stop out here for every single animal, and they're definitely not stopping for us. So if you are taking photos or videos, just make sure you have your cameras out and ready. Now I do recommend a sports mode or an action mode, something with quicker shutter speed. To help capture all the best moments here on the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Now as we come into the savannah, right over here on our right, to the left of those fallen trees, there are some very small antelopes laying down. Those are the springbok. They kind of look like little bitty s'mores with legs. They only weigh about 100 pounds when they're fully grown. So they are in fact the smallest antelopes. They can spring up about 6 feet high in the air and spring forward about 13 feet, all running 35 miles per hour. On the right, we do have a few Ankole cattle sprinkled around here on the right. Now, the Ankole cattle are actually the only domesticated animals here on the reserve. They are domesticated by the Watusi tribe in Africa. Now, in Africa, those cattle are seen as a huge symbol of wealth. So at nighttime, they're actually herded into a circular corral called a manada, which is made up of thorny bushes
manada?
to help protect them from predators throughout the entire night.
This is not your channel. Stop trying to take it over. Stop trying to take mine over.
Now on our left, inside of the den, we do have a spotted hyena taking a little snooze in there. Now spotted hyenas, they do live in a female-dominated system, where even the lowest ranking female is going to outrank the highest ranking male. So some real girl power here on our left. Now also on our left, we have some silver gray animals hanging out. These are white-bearded wildebeest. Now wildebeest are actually extremely herd-oriented, and you can find them traveling and migrating in herds of up to 1.5 million wildebeest at a time. So those are the sables. And sable antelope, they are very protective of their area. The wildebeest have encroached on their territory. That is their spot. They love that spot. So they are very protective of it. Now they'll actually use those horns to defend themselves against the predators around them who are encroaching on their space. They also use them as a way to assert their dominance with other males in their group.
Whoa.
Now on our left here, we are passing by some termite mounds. Now these termite mounds are made up of dung, saliva, and mud. Larger animals like elephants will use the termite mounds as a really big scratching post in order to sharpen up their tusks. And then smaller animals like the springbok we saw just a moment ago will use them as a hiding place to hide from larger predators. Now if they get scratched down enough, antelopes will actually stand on top of the termite mounds, and they will use them as a lookout point. You can look out over the entire savannah, make sure they're not in any immediate danger.
Amazing.
So right here we are going to see a few of those springbok walking around. You can see how small they really are. And like I said, they kind of look like s'mores with legs. They're really little. They are small but mighty little creatures. Now these Ankole cattle here, they have some pretty big horns. Their horns actually measure to be about 6 feet across from tip to tip. But they're not as heavy as you would expect them to be. They have a honeycomb structure inside of their horns that is filled with blood vessels that will pump warm blood from their horns throughout the rest of their body in order to help keep them cool. So each horn is only going to weigh about 3 to 4 pounds, which really isn't that much in the whole scheme of things. Now up here on our right, we have 2 lighter brown antelopes laying down in that big shady spot. Those are the Patterson's eland. Now Patterson's eland, there's 3 of them up there. They're actually the largest antelope here on the reserve, so the springbok were the smallest. The Patterson's eland are the largest. Now when they're fully grown, they're going to stand about 6 feet tall from their shoulders down to the ground. And they're actually able to leap straight up in the air 6 to 8 feet high, which is pretty impressive. Now on our left, there's a tower of giraffes hanging out in the trees there. Now giraffes, when they're fully grown, they're going to stand anywhere from 16 to 20 feet tall. When they're born, they're already standing about 6 feet tall. Now the first thing that a giraffe is going to experience is falling about 9 feet to the ground. Because females, they do give birth while standing up. So giraffes, they learn about gravity very quickly in life. But it does look like we are getting ready to head towards some elephant territory. There's a few broken trees on the ground, which is a pretty good indication they've been here recently. Elephants like to pull those trees up, they'll throw them on the ground, but that's alright. It gives them a nice trunk workout, and it gives the smaller animals around them food to eat as well. Because those smaller animals, they can't reach the tops of the trees like the elephants and the giraffes can. So we are going to try our best to spot an elephant out here. It's usually pretty easy. They are kind of big. I say that, but we might enjoy some nature for a second. Looks like we're going to enjoy some nature for a second. Now there's actually a few things that we can do to help these animals, like some of the ones we've already seen out here today. Like those bongos, the wildebeest. It also helps out elephants and gorillas. Do you have any cell phones laying around your house that you're not using? When you recycle those cell phones, you're helping those animals out because inside the battery of those cell phones is a mineral called coltan. Now coltan is mined for those animal habitats. So the more that you recycle those old cell phones, the fewer habitats that have to be destroyed. And if the animals have their own natural habitat, they're less likely to encroach on humans' territory. That could end pretty badly for them. Something we're definitely working to avoid here in Harambe. Now as we travel through the